Hello everyone. So let's see what we're going to have a play at today. Today I am going to have another go at doing this one here, which is the reference picture above. And I've done this using acrylics, which I don't normally use, but I just wanted to have another go. And here's a sneak peek about what will be coming up on my Patreon. So maybe that will intrigue you to hop along and, even if it's just for a month, you can just sign up for a month, have a little look at what we get up to on my Patreon. Anyways, this is what I'm going to be doing. The picture, I will put a link below to. It's was it Unsplash or Pixabay? It was one of those, but anyways, I will put the link below. So it's basically copyright free. Um, let's talk about the equipment that we're going to be using. So I'm going to be using this Canson XL textured mixed media paper that is 300 GSM. This is an A5 size. So I'm going to take one of those out. That is my paper. And I am going to be using my A4 cutting board as my board to rest on. And I'm going to use my washi tape to tape that down so as I get a nice edge. Like so. And there we go. There is our third side and our final side. So that's our paper. Now I do have some acrylic brushes, but they're really hard to get to. So I'm going to use this size 8 Van Gogh, knowing full well that I have got another set of these Van Gogh brushes hidden away in my stash. So I won't mind too much. It's not a precious brush. It's not an expensive brush. So that's what I'm going to be using. I've got some water. It's not particularly clean, but it will do. And as a mixing palette, I'm using this throwaway pad. And you can see where I used it before. So I'm just going to turn it round and use this side now. I've got a cloth for if I want to wipe my brush. And then let's look at the colours that I've got out to use. And I'm using these little nibbed pen type ones. I don't really know what they're called. I've got a mix here of Sennelier Abstract 3D liner, and then I've got some that are Daler Rowney System 3 Fluid Acrylic is what they are called. So I have got, what colour is this? Payne's Grey? No, this is Mars Black. Right, we've got Mars Black. We have got Neutral Grey. Burnt Sienna. That's standing up. I have got, this is Cerulean Blue Hue. This is turquoise. Then I've got one that's called Flesh Ochre. That's a Sennelier one. So it's kind of a, it's not really a buff titanium because it's more cream than that. It's kind of a cream colour. And then I've got titanium white. So you could just use acrylic that's in tubes like this, or maybe even gouache or acrylic gouache. But yes, though that's our colorway that I'm going to be using, and I need quite a dark background. If you look, and it's pretty dark at the bottom there. So I'm going to start off with some of my burnt sienna. Should we put it up here? And I want to darken that up. So shall I use, I think we'll put a bit of the, I was going to use the black. I don't know. I'll put a bit of grey one side for maybe when we go up the page, because it's a bit lighter. And we'll put a bit of black this side. Oop, if that one wants to come out. Okay. So I'm going to have a damp brush, and I'm just going to mix up that brown with the black to get a nice dark colour at the bottom here. So you can see this is quite dark. But as I'm going up the page, I'm adding less of the black, and I might start adding in some of the grey. So that it just changes tone as it goes up the page. And because we're painting over quite a lot of this, we don't need to be too careful with how we're painting it. I'm using some of this up and dotting it about so as it doesn't look completely even and in lines, basically. You just need a really nice dark background. Right. There we go. One very, very dark. And if I bring it up, I hope that you can see where I've started to add in some of the grey, and then at the bottom here I've got some of the black a little bit. Anyway, so we've made a mess, which is typical, but I am going to wipe that before it goes everywhere. There we go. So next then we need this to dry, so back in a moment. Okay, we are dry, so let us move on. And what I want in the background with this darker blue is these kind of berries in the background. So we'll squeeze some of that out. And then we'll grab some of this and we will just make some berry shapes. And these are just, as I said, in the background, so we don't have to worry too much. And it helps the ones in the forefront to stand out a bit more. So there we are, we're just doing berry shapes, shapes and shapes. Do we think we've got enough? Should I have a bit more up here? Now, as always, I am not trying to do an exact copy of the one I did before. Okay, there we go. Let us get that dried. Okay, so our next job is to mark out this the branch, basically. So I'm going to go back to my, actually I'll just use what's on there, I might be able to, with a little bit of the what was this, flesh ochre, because I want it to be lighter, because the branch is lighter than the background on there. So let's just, no, maybe not enough there. I'll add a bit more of the burnt sienna. There, that's definitely a different colour, I think. Now let's get our branch in, and it's coming across. And we'll have one going across there. This isn't very pointy, this brush. Never mind. I want it to be coming down. And even now I'm not being particularly careful, as you can see. I'm going to highlight some of the branch. Yeah, I think I need a different brush. Let us find a smaller brush. let's have the Van Gogh size 4. There we go. So we've got our branch in there, and I think what we will do next is get some of these big, bright berries in the front. So they really stand out, which is great. And I will add the little white bits on, but not quite yet. So let's just place quite a few of these. And we're going to need some at the top here. Oh, I've gone quiet, haven't I? Most unlike me. Concentration. Probably because I really just don't use acrylic paints that much. Well, I haven't done anyway. We need some to look as though they are peeking out behind others, don't we? A little bit, so that they're not all uniform. So I'm not doing it exactly as it is on that photo. That's just my inspiration, really, rather than anything else. Let's have another one here. And there, maybe. We don't want them to look too evenly spread out, do we? And that one can be hiding behind that a little bit. Right. Okay, so we've got those there. Next, what I want to do is get some leaves in, and I'm going to risk doing that. And I'm going to use this creamy colour with a little bit of the teal in it to make this kind of get that mixed up. makes us a kind of a light green colour, and that's how I'm going to be doing my leaves. And I'm also going to add in some stalks for these berries. So that they look like they've got little stalks on them, some of them. Right, let's get some leaves in as well. So I think we will like so. So we've got our leaves are kind of glittery and showing at the top here, particularly because it's a lot lighter at the top there on the picture. But we can have a few down here as well. So we're building our picture up with these leaves that are just adding a bit more light, and you can see how the darker blue really goes into the background now. What we could also do is some darker leaves. So let's just make that a bit darker. See how we go. Yeah, I want them to be really quite dark. And I just want to, I mean, this could be a big mistake, but I don't think I did this last time. But I just want some leaf shapes in the background here. Is that going to show? Maybe it needs to be even darker. Even though they're not attached to anything. I'm just getting a few, can be, a few kind of leaf shapes into the background, which I think There we go. You can see it particularly with that one there. It is kind of making a bit of a difference there. Right. Let's get our actually, let's do the highlight on the branch next with this cream colour. Let's just try and wash that brush out. And then get some of this, get my head out the way. Let's get some of this cream colour. And I'm just going to highlight on the top of these branches so that they stand out a bit more. There, I think that really helps to, whoops, to make the branches stand out a little bit more, most definitely. So with the white, I'm going to do the white bits on the berries next. Gosh, it's very runny, that white. Whose is that? That's the, oh, Daler Rowney. The Daler Rowney are a lot runnier than the, so yeah, the System 3 Daler Rowney are a lot runnier than the Sennelier Abstract. Just so that you know. I'm just going to get that little hint of where the light's kind of catching these berries now. And that really helps them to pop a bit more. Oh, and then my favourite bit, let's just splat, everyone, let's splat. So let's take, the brush is quite dirty now, but it doesn't matter. Let's take some of this colour, move it away from my keyboard, and maybe we'll have a bit of the darker blue as well. Which I think really helps. Maybe we'll even have some of this. Okay, and then what I want to do is, obviously, I don't really want that particularly. Where's my turquoise? Don't particularly want the splats all over my berries. So it's quite simple. I'm just going over them, basically, where I've put those splats. I won't worry about getting them all. But that is one of the advantages of acrylics, in that we can do that. Okay, well, I am quite liking that. So it's got some mid-tones, it's got some dark tones in the back there, we've got some lighter tones. Maybe I would just like to, I'm going to use this, I think this is a nail art tool, but I just want to see if I can, I'm a bit late to do that, aren't I? Why don't I try? Ooh. I just want to see if I can get some kind of interest on these leaves. Which it looks like I can. Just a little bit of something going on there. Rather than wipe that off. As this is silicone, it wipes off really nicely. Okay, I think I am happy with that. I'm going to take my washi tape off. Pray that my head didn't get in the way too much. And obviously this is a simplified version of the photo. So I will move that out of the way now. And I will bring this up so that, which way are we going? That way. So that you can see it better. But I think that that is quite effective. Whether I prefer my original. So let's just, because this is still a bit wet, I don't want to, there we go. So if I hold the two up together, you can see there is a difference, but not too much of a difference. And I do really like it. So there we go. Maybe have a go yourselves. Something a bit different from me, I have to say. This is what I love about this. You can just roll it up and throw it away. So yes, fun with acrylics today. There we go. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope that you have a little try at this. If you're part of my Patreon group, do throw your pictures into the share your art section on our Discord server. I love to see what everyone is doing, if they're having a go at some of the things on YouTube as well as Patreon. So stay safe, stay healthy, stay calm, and when my mouse is working, which it isn't, there we go. As always, thank you so much for watching and subscribing and supporting the channel. Till next time.